Pretty.
Ernie.
Yeah.
First of all, it's Chag Sameach to everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah. So I was telling them I didn't send you the pictures, but I didn't send you the pictures from the great synagogue when you were davening for the Amud. I've got a lot of pictures from that.
I'd like to see them.
I have to send them to you. Well, it's going to cost you, I don't just take pictures for free. But
Wow.
But it's going to cost you more limud. Anyway, but Rabbi Mervis was there as well. He was there, and he was there the night before. Actually, he was at the dinner the night before,
Right.
or the following night. I don't remember the night before. The following night.
Wednesday night was the dinner.
And Thursday you davened for the Amud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the night after, and I had a long discussion with him. I haven't seen him for more than probably 45 years, more than that, because I learned together with him in Kerem. And he's younger than me. But he spoke very nicely. I just don't understand how he had a heter to go to the place, because you saw him walking in. I don't know if you saw the coronation.
Yeah.
He's nearby.
No,
He
but
was not inside the church.
Yeah,
I
remember
saw-
Jonathan Sachs went as well to the church, and but
Rabbi
the
Mervis
Haredi, the Haredi community lambasted him.
Rabbi Mervis definitely walked into the church. I saw him, Mario.
He was
I
in the
thought
next
he
time in
was-
church.
I think Beshita they hold because since they represent, they're not going for whatever. Jonathan Sachs did it. Who was
Also,
Diana's
Diana's
funeral.
Diana's funeral.
Diana's funeral.
The other two,
Uh,
I did it for King Edward.
He spent
No,
Shabbos
he
in
followed. There was
the palace.
in 1907, Edward VII. So the chief rabbi then walked on
And
Shabbos.
he walked in the same.
So he
step.
followed that Masorah.
But I don't know if you saw, they do Shemen HaMishcha, and you know where they took the Mishcha from?
Where?
From the Mount of Olives. And his grandmother is buried in Har HaZeitim.
Yes. Philip's mother.
Philip's mother is buried in Har HaZeitim.
Wow.
Yeah, but she wasn't Jewish. She was just a
No.
But she was Greek.
she helped
Greek.
Jews. She helped Jews
She
in the
helped Jews,
Holocaust.
but her body, and they asked to bring the Zaytim, and then they did Shemen HaMishcha. They do Shemen HaMishcha, and not only that he has Mal. They Mal all. Moyle was a rabbi that did the Moyle of the king.
I know.
Yes.
We know who
All the
the Moyle was. Lily Adler's brother,
Oh,
Really?
the Stern. Yeah.
Wow.
Had like 17 children, and he was the Moyle for
No, but apparently he was
Prince
a
Charles.
doctor.
Prince Charles had Mila.
He was a doctor as well. They said he was a doctor and a Moyle.
Lily's brother was not a doctor.
Okay.
Maybe Lily's brother did it to other royal family.
I'm
Maybe
just telling you what they said, that Prince Charles was a Moyle and a doctor.
his mother was a nun. I didn't even know that. His mother became a nun.
Whose
Philip's mother.
Philip's mother.
She became a nun after later in life. True.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
36.
Yes, Lamed Vav. Borei kamanisim nasu bo sayom. A lot of miracles happened on the day that Israel crossed the Yarden. Over Yisrael Sayarden, Ubol Har Grizim Har Eval, Yeser Mishishi Mil. You're talking about a huge encampment of 3 million people were able to travel 60 kilometers to Har Grizim and Har Eval. Ve'ein kol bir yichol lamud bifneihem. And anyone who came to shepherd with them would be destroyed. Whoever stood before them would get diarrhea. Shenemar as a mosi yashlach ufanecha, the hamos is kolamat shetavo behem. The omer tipol alem a mosav afachat ad yavorim Period. Then says Adi Avraham Chachem Zubia Rishona. This is coming into Eretz Yisrael with Yoshua. Adi Avor Amzukanisa Zubia Shnia, when they came back from Bavel. And more Me'at Ru'ina Yisrael Lasus Lanes Bebia Shnia Kebia Rishona. All these nisim that occurred when they crossed the Yarden should have occurred when they came back from Bavel. Ela Shagar Machet. But they had done a lot of chatoim that caused them to be exiled by the Churban Bayis Rishon. So they weren't roy for those nisim. Now, what else did they do on the same day? Achakach hevius avanim. Right? They had to bring the stones. Uvano samizbech bahar. They brought the stones also to Har Grizim and Har Eval. Uvano samizbech. They built a mizbech. They have a sadu besid. They covered these stones with lime. Because for them it's called Divrei Torah b'shivim lashon. They wrote the Torah in 70 languages. Shenemer ba'er heitei. Vehelu olos ushlamim. They brought korbanos. V'achlu v'shasu v'samchu. They partied. Uberchu v'kilalu. Then they did the brachas and the klalos. V'kiplu savanim uvov v'lanu v'gilgal. Then they rolled up the stones, and they brought them to Gilgal. Shenemar varvartem osam imachem, v'inachtem osam b'malon where you sleep. Yachol v'chol malon malon. Anytime they sleep, asher telina b'ala, just the first night. Uksiv v'shtem esrei avodim ha'ela asher lokhu. Those stones that they took from the Yarden, Yoshua set them up in Gilgal. Tana. Sira lo avra imahem. The pasuk says, "V'shalachti sat sira lefanecha." Sira is like some kind of huge wasp that was going to terrorize their enemies. So the Mishnah says that Sira did not cross. They had it Sira on Evrei Yarden. They had it Sira once in Eretz Canaan, but the Sira and Evrei Yarden they did not cross. They
translated as a hornet.
Okay, a hornet or a wasp. I don't know what the difference between the two is. Whether it's the same, whether they're the same name for the same type of creature. Okay,
A hornet's more got more deadly.
Than a wasp.
I think so.
Okay.
Stronger.
Amrav Shimon Lakish al Sfas Yarden Amda. The Tzira stood on the eastern side of the Jordan. Vizarka Bahen Mara. And she threw poison from that side of the Yarden into the Goyim. Visimsa Einea Milmala. It blinded their eyes. Visirasta Milmala, and it castrated them below. Shenemar Vanochi Ishmaret Yitza Emorim Mitechem. Asher Kegova Arozim Govo v'Chasonu Kaloinim Bashmid Pirio. I will destroy their children. That's the castration. Mimal v'Sharosha Mitachas. Rav Papa Omer states there were two hornets. Chad de Moshe v'Chad Yoshua. One Moshe used when he conquered Sichon and Og and all the things that he conquered on the east side of the Jordan. The Chad de Yoshua. The Moshe Loaver, the hornet of Moshe stayed where it is. The Yoshua over, the one that Yoshua did cross with him. Shisha Shvatim Al Rosh HaGrizim. Right? Half of the Klal Yisrael were on Har Grizim. Half were on Har Eval. And it was 6 Shvatim went up. Now, my Vachetzia. We already know that it was half. On Rav Kana Kederech Shechaluk Kan Kach Chalukin Ba'avnei Eifo. That is the Choshen Mishpat that the names of the Shvatim are on. So the same, it was 6 were on one side, 6 were on the other. So it's the same division that was done in Har Grizim. So where it says Meisvei. Shti Avonim Tovis Haydol Kohen Gadol Aksefa. the Kohen Gadol had 2 precious stones that he wore on his shoulders. Achas mikan v'achas mikan. Ushmos 12 shvotim kosov aleim. The names of the 12 shvotim were written. Shisha levenzu, Shisha levenzu. 6 on this, 6 on that. Shenemar shisha mishmotam al even achad. Shniya ketoldotam. The second one had the names based on their based on when they were born. V'lo rishona ketoldotam. But the first one did not have it kased. Mibnei she Yehuda muktam. Because Yehuda went first, and Yehuda was not born first. So on the Shniya, it was God, Asher, Yisachar, Zvulun, Yosef, Binyamin. That was the order of their Leda. After Yehuda, it was Ruvain, Shimon, Levi, Dan, V'Naftali. Chamishi Moisois Hayu. Altogether were 50 letters. Esrim v'chamesh 11 zu, Esrim v'chamesh 11 zu. 25 on each one. 25 letters on each one. So Rochanim Gamliel Oimer lo keder shechalukin b'chumash hapkudim chalukin ba'avnei ephod. The order given in Sefer Bamidbar when they do the count, that's not the way they were divided on the Avnei Ephod. Rather, the way they were counted up in Shmos. Right? Shmos, beginning of Shmos. How was it? B'nai Leah Kesidron. They were counted, Ruvain, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zvulun, which are all the children of Leah. And the B'nai Rachel, Echad Mikan V'Echad Mikan. Binyamin was on the bottom, Yosef was on the top. And the Shvachos, Naftali, Gad, V'Asher, Dan, Naftali, Gad, V'Asher were in the middle. Right? B'nai Rachel, Echad Mikan V'Echad Mikan, B'nai Shvachos, Be'emsa. Elamayim, Mekayim, Kesol, Doisam. So how do you see that it was according to their birth? Hishmoisim, Shekor, Lanavian. It's the names that their father called them. Moshe. For example, Moshe, Ruvain v'lo Ruvaini. Right? Mishpachas HaRuvaini is the way Moshe said. Shimon v'lo Shimoni. Dan v'lo Adoni. Gad v'lo Agadi. So this is Tiyufta Derav Kahana. None of the shitas that we brought is the same, say that the Avnei Ephod Seder is the same as Hargrizim and Har Ephod. Okay, Tiyufta. That's the kasha. Elamai v'achetzio. So what do you mean by chetzio? Tana. Chetzio shemua grizim. The number of the population that were standing in our grizim was meruba v'chetzio shel ha'eva. Were more than that were on our eva. And they shall Levi lamata. Levi was in the valley. Adarabba. They shall Levi lamata batzaluhu. If Levi is on the bottom, then you've taken Levi out of the picture that are opposite Har Grizim, and they're going to be less. But even though Levi was on the bottom, but the Bnei Yosef were with them, and they were a lot of people. Shenamar vayidabru bnei Yosef es Yoshua lemor. Madua natati li nachla gora lechad v'chevel echad bani amra. Yosef complained about the land that Yoshua gave because they were very great in population. Vayomar aliyam Yoshua imam ravata alei lecha yar, go to the forest. Arbalai lechu v'achbiu atzmachem beyarim, so that people won't see how many population you have. Otherwise, people will be, it's 9 hara. There's no Ayin by the children of Yosef. T'chsiv, Ben Parat Yosef, Ben Parat Ali Oyin. One Ravavo al tu kore Ali Oyin ala Oyle Oyin. They avoid Ein Hara. Rabbi Yosef Reb Chanina Amar Mehacha. It says by Yosef, Yidgu larov b'ker v'aretz, ma dagim shebeyam, fish, ma'im mechasim aleim. The water covers them and nobody can see him. So there's no Ein Hara. Ein Ayin sholetus by him. Av Zar Shel Yosef, Ein Ayin sholetus, but there's no Ein Hara by the Zar Shel Yosef. Ani chamishim, it says chamishim lechichadav. It's 49, not 50. Amar Yitzchak Yosef osifel oisachas. They added a hey to Yosef's name. Shenemar, a dude be Yosef samo, but say so there's Mitzrayim. Maski for Rav Nachman Yitzchak told us be'inon, but I thought you said we did it the way Yaakov Avinu called them. They didn't call him Yosef. Ela kol atar kula binyamin ksiv, without a yud in between the mem and the nun. V'acha binyamin shalem. Ksiv aviv karalo binyamin, with 2 yuds. So that filled the number from 49 to 50. Yosef did not have relations with Eshes Potiphar, but he was Mekadosh Shem Shemaim privately. One letter, the Hey of Yud Kei Vav Kei, was added to his name. Yehuda Shekidosh Shem Shemaim b'Far Hesya. When Nachshon ben Aminadav jumped into the Yam Suf, and he was Mekadosh Shem Shemaim publicly, Nikra Kula al Shmo Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yosef Mai, Tichsiv. Vayi kayom hazeh, vayavo habayis lasos malachto. On this day, Yosef came home to do his work. On Rav Yochanan, melamed sheshneim ledvar aver niskamnu. Yosef at that time had planned to have relations with Eshes Potiphar. They were secretly home alone, and that was he had in mind. So when it says vayavo habayis lasos malachto, Rav Shmuel Chadamar lasos malachto mamish means to do his work. No, the malachto that he was thinking about was having relations. There was nobody there. This big palace didn't have anybody in there. So Tana Rabbi Shmuel also Yom Chagomayim. It was an Avodah Zarah Yontif. She said, I was sick, I can't go. He was plotting, this will be the best day to seduce Yosef. She took his clothes off, Yosef saw the image of his father in the window. Amar lo Yosef, and the vision said, Yosef, atidi nechecha, your brothers, shichtu b'alav ne'ephod, their names will be inscribed on the choshen, v'ata b'neim, you'll be there. Ritzoncha shi'imocha shimcha m'b'neim v'tikra roe zonos. Do you want to erase your name from there and you'll be called the shepherd of the prostitutes? T'chsiv v'roe zonos ya'abed hon. Miyad v'ateshev be'esan kashto. He lost his erection from the learned kishui. And he dug his hands into the ground. Semen came emerging from his fingernails. Midei Avir Yaakov, Mi Garm Lo Shechak Alav Ephod. What caused Yosef's name to be on the ephod? Ela Avir Yaakov, having this vision of his father Yaakov. Misham Roeh Even Yisrael, and that's a bracha to Yosef. Misham Zachov and Asher Roeh. He's also considered one of the Royim, the 7 shepherds, like by the Ushpizim. Shenema Roy Yisrael Azina Noi Katzon Yosef. Tanya. Hi Roy Yosef, let's say it's been Shnemas Shvatim. Yidech Shiatzum Yaakov Avi. Really, Yosef should have had 12 Shvatim like Yaakov. Shenema Ela told us Yaakov Yosef. Ela Shiatzum Shechvazir Ben Sipor, except for that, all that Shechvazir that came out when he dug his hands into the ground trying to hold back from having relations with Potiphar, he lost the ability to have all those children. But the progeny that he was supposed to have came out of Binyamin. V'kula nikru al shmo. Binyamin named all of his children after something to do with Yosef. Shenemar. Uvnei Binyamin. Bela v'vecher v'ashbel. Geirav v'naaman achi v'rosh. Mupim v'chupim v'erd. Bela shenivla bena umos. Yosef got lost among the people, among the nations. V'vechar b'chor limo ayah. Yosef was the b'chor for Rachel. V'ashbel sheshvo. That means Hashem took him prisoner to Egypt. Geira shegar b'achsanios. He lived like in strange people. The Naaman shenoim b'yoyis, he was handsome. Achi v'rosh, achiu v'roshihu. Binyamin says he's my brother and he's greater than me. Mupim v'chupim hu lo ra b'chupasi, v'ani lo ra isi b'chupaso. I missed out on his wedding, he missed out on my wedding. V'ard sheyor l'bein ha'umas ha'olam. He went down to the nations of the world. His face was like a rose. Parah told Yosef that nobody's going to raise his hand without you. That a slave that his master bought him for Esrim Kesef Tamshileu, Aleu was going to rule over us. But yeah, Parah said, I see that he comes from royalty. If he's royal, he should know all the languages. Gabriel came and taught him 70 languages. He wasn't able to learn them. They added the hey. The Lamed he was able to learn. Languages I didn't know, I can now hear. Whatever language Paro talked to him in, he returned. Yosef talked to Paro Hebrew, but Paro didn't understand. Agbari, teach me. Agbari v'lagomer, he wasn't able to learn. Paro made Yosef take a shvua that he won't reveal that Paro didn't know Hebrew. So Yosef swore. Yosef told Paro that Yaakov, his father, had sworn him to make him bury him in Canaan. Amarle, Zil Itchel Ashwosa. So Paro said, go to a chacham and ask a shayla, get your shvua undone. Amarle, Vichli Nami Adidach, so should we undo the shvua that I took to you that I'm not going to reveal? Based on that, he wasn't happy, but he didn't want the shvua to be undone so that Yosef would tell people that Paro couldn't learn Hebrew. So he allowed them to take Yaakov and bury him the way he took the oath. What's the Kiddush Hashem Yehuda Mai? The Tanya I Rab Meir Omer. Kisham do Yisrael al Hayam. Hayishvot benatzkim zem zeh zeh Omer ani yored chil liyam zeh Omer ani yored chil liyam. Each Shevet wanted to go into the Yamsuf. Kafat Shifto shel Binyamin. First Binyamin tribe. But we'll continue this tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll learn this after the Turba.
At what time the surah?
8:00. Oh, 8.
Sure.
Right. 8.
You want to do it
Are you going to
8:10?
that concert?